G'day YouTube. Warbles on a lot here. For what is label out are irrefutably a malt liquor video. Would you look at that? I managed to type my own address without a single mistake, erasure or correction. The fact which is attested to by the point that the correction fluid remains unopened. Okay, so we'll see how we go. What's this bugger's address? Adam Marshall. Marshall Adam MP. Where are you, bastard? Bloody hell, you mean I've got to do this every time? Mash. Suite 175, Rusden Street, Armadale. 175. Armadale, 2350. Yeah. Okay, I think I better show that to you. Whoops. Give me a plumber. Sorry about the violence of that. Here we go. Adam Marshall, Suite 1175, Rusden Street, Armadale, New South Wales 2350. I'll put you kind of out of your misery and into time delay. I'm going to type this letter, and then after I've typed this letter, maybe drunk some more alcohol. Perhaps had a pipe or three. When the moving hand has writ on the ancient technology. I'll read you the letter and then post it on YouTube, and then, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or the day after I'll go into town and I'll send this version via the snail mail to Adam Marshall, my local New South Wales Member of Parliament. Well, I get along with writing a letter to Adam Marshall while listening to ABC Radio National's health report. That's just how it goes.
Inferences from studies that have already been done of these drugs individually. So
Fuck it. I was writing further, and in the writing of the word further, I made my first typo.
We found that the non-steroidal medications such as telecoms seem to perform really well and decrease the risk of high-risk polyps by about 63%.
You have to shake it till you can hear the metal weight moving.
However, from a safety standpoint, these medications were also associated with a high risk of serious events like hospitalization, bleeding risk, so perhaps not applicable to every patient who is at risk for recurrence of polyps, but may be considered for the highest risk.
And this is the fancy new version, so I'm going to test it.
Oh,
look at that, it works.
In contrast, what we found that low-dose aspirin is fairly effective in decreasing the risk of serious polyps, but at the same time is also a very safe option.
Okay, now you can wait. Look at that.
Found was that regardless of how frequent patients had it from
One has just opened a new beer. As time goes by. Dear Adam, further to our conversation on Friday last in Grey Street, Glen Innes, herewith the letter which you requested of me. As I stated when we spoke, I am greatly displeased to find that an outfit known as New England Weed Control is currently at the direction of the New England Office of the New South Wales Noxious Weeds Authority spraying poisonous herbicide onto the non-native food plants, bracket, i.e. apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, quince trees, orange trees, lime trees, as well as blackberry liquid paper, and not for the first time. Okay, so label out, moving right along.
Is a new way of using these in people with very mild asthma who just use that.
And like I said,
combination prevention.
it's a time compression video, so you get to wait. Look at that. Time goes by.
That was not approved, and they had to expect there was stuff that would have been.
Notice the change.
I mean, is that something you'd expect?
Much more has passed through the typing of the writer.
You know what? This isn't the way to go. It costs millions to buy ad space.
And we have a parliament of white-winged chuffs to think about it all. With one singleton outlier. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here we go. I'm just about finished. Okay. You really want to be fed, don't you? Yes. Yes, you do. This is just kind of like part of living in the forest, you know. If you want to be friends with the local wildlife, it's really kind of polite to give them a feed when they show up. If you listen really hard, you can hear the chuffs talking in triptychs. 3 of them. One of them says thank, another one says you, another one says man. Thank you, man. Changing hands. This, of course, has very little to do with the subject of Adam Marshall being tasked with the job of stopping the New South Wales Noxious Weeds Authority from paying New England Weed Control to kill all the wild, feral, European food plants growing in the road reserves. Apart from, you know, illustrating the idea that when you live in a community, it is polite to share. And this family of white-winged chuffs expects me to be cultured sufficiently to the point where I will share my food with them, as I do. So if White Man's Australia has got to the point where they're out there using taxpayers' funds to kill trees in the road reserve, just so that, you know, there is no public food, that nobody can harvest anything because it's all been killed, that's a pretty savage comment on everything that's wrong with European civilization. So, as the chuffs have a drink, so shall I have a drink. To wet me whistle, before reading unto ye the fruits of mine typewriterings, which will I pull out of the hair, we'll have a crack at reading. Adam Marshall, Member of Parliament, Suite 1, 175 Rusden Street, Armidale, New South Wales 2350. Dear Adam, further to our conversation on Friday last in Grey Street, Glen Innes, herewith the letter which you requested of me. As I stated when we spoke, I am greatly displeased to find that an outfit known as New England Weed Control is currently at the direction of the New England Office of the New South Wales Noxious Weed Authority, spraying poisonous herbicides onto the non-native food plants, i.e. apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, quince trees, orange trees, lime trees, rugby, as well as blackberries, briar, hawthorn, crabapple trees. In the road reserve, bracket, from the farmer's fence to the farmer's fence, either side of the carriageway, close bracket, along roads within the former Shire area of the amalgamated Glen Innes 7 Shire Council. As you may see in the YouTube video which I posted on 26 January 2017 titled Australia Day Killing the Food Plants for Progress, I had 3 leading hypotheses to explain it, and I concluded that it had to do with orchardists getting their science backwards, bracket, blaming never-sprayed singleton trees for breeding insecticide-resistant fruit flies, all demanding voodoo ritual killing of all trees outside the orchards to make them feel better. However, the result of my inquiries to the GISC while paying my rates was a call from a spokesman for New England Weed Control, who informed me that, or words to the effect, it has nothing to do with fruit flies, because the point is that non-native plants in the road reserve are classed as noxious weeds and we're paid to spray and kill them. Also, when I informed him that around here some of those fruit trees growing on public lanes were 180 years old, they were still being annually harvested by locals, and that in killing them he was willfully destroying the living cultural heritage of New England, New South Wales, effectively being paid to participate in an act of vandalistic barbarianism, I was told that everybody is entitled to their opinion and advised to write to his boss. Instead, I am taking your advice and writing to you, trusting that you will act promptly and decisively to halt this act of bastardry, using public funds to kill wild feral food plants growing on public land, is so very emblematic of bureaucracy run amok that I figure this should be easily able to nip... I will fix that. I figure you should be easily able to nip this in the bud. Kill crabapples in the municipalities if they're clogging the sewers and drains. But in the non-urban road reserves, leave the wild food plants alone, native or feral. If humans can eat it and it grows wild, let it grow unmolested. Thank you for your attention. Okay, so lane becomes land, whereas this becomes, I figure, you. So now it can be signed. Thus. Done. So that's how it's done. If you write to your politician in hard copy, send it via snail mail, it arrives, they date stamp it, that means their office has to respond to it in hard copy. That means they have to answer any questions you raise. That means they have no option. This is how to use the only remaining influence that a citizen has to effect the course of democracy. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao. Malt liquor video. Letter to Adam Marshall, my Member of Parliament. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. That's how democracy works. Ciao.